So it's beginning to be that time of year again. I'm getting to that point where I am going to need a haircut. Not exactly one of my favorite times of the year. I have this tendency to put off getting a haircut until well beyond actually needing a haircut. So I'll get to a point where like my hair starts getting kind of, nutty and more and more difficult to manage. And I'll wait about, maybe another month or two before I actually make it into the haircut place. And during that month, I'll talk at length about how I desperately need a haircut. And then finally, I will go in and get a haircut. And what has to happen is that the embarrassment of having totally insane hair has to equal the embarrassment of actually going into the haircut place and getting my haircut, because I have to tell you, it's a bit of a humiliating experience for me anyway. I'm very conflicted about it, and when I go there, I feel a little silly. More silly than normal, that is. Because you go in and there's all this weirdness. You go in there, and the first thing they do is they take you to this back room, and you hang up your coat, and then some lady puts you in this kind of flimsy, weird, black, puffy robe. But there's always like this sort of tense moment every time where she's gotten the robe out for you, and she's sort of holding it out to you. I don't know if I'm supposed to take the robe and put it on myself, or if I'm supposed to put my arms into the robe and allow her to help me into the robe. So you try to offer to do it, and then you sort of screw it up, and then she does it for you, and you feel like a schmuck. What always ends up happening is I try to go forward into the robe, but what I'm supposed to do is actually turn around and go backwards into the robe, and then she reaches around the front of me and she ties the robe up, and there's this horrible, awkward moment where I'm putting the robe on wrong and she's not doing her job, and she's getting a little pissed off with me, and she tells me no, it's the other way, and all we're trying to do is put on a frickin' robe. I just feel dirty and weird, So you get into the robe and she sits you down, and then you have to get your hair shampooed. And this is another area of conflict for me, because generally speaking, I've already washed my hair for the day. I don't really need, another shampoo, but there's not really a whole lot you can do about it. Pretty much, I've learned through experimentation that if you go to the haircut place, you're expected to have your hair shampooed. It doesn't matter if you washed your hair that day, you are gonna get a shampoo, or they're gonna make you feel like a schmuck. So you go and you get the shampoo, and there's weirdness there, and it's very, sensual. I came for a haircut. I did not come for any sort of massage therapy, any sort of physical therapy, any sort of sensual touching. Just seems a little out of bounds. I get a little too relaxed. It makes me feel fun. It's just not really my thing. Quite frankly, a giant white room full of chairs and strangers is not exactly where I go to unwind. And then, you have to tip, and I never know, what the tip ratio is. Do I tip more for the shampoo lady than I do for the haircut lady? And how much do I give to the shampoo lady versus how much I give to the haircut lady? It's very, very stressful expedition going to get my haircut. So I think maybe now you can see maybe a little bit better why I have just a little bit of conflict when it comes to going to the haircut place. I really am not looking forward to it. So the next time you see me walking down the street with the crazy nutty hair, please try to have a little understanding. I'd really, really appreciate it.